Happy Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Tuesday Talks, where we try to give you a devotional thought for this week to help encourage you to get through it, and as we get ready for the weekend to be able to worship our God on Sunday. Now, I'm not much of a basketball fan, but it is March Madness. And so over the last couple of weeks, I've been watching the basketball games. And last night, I watched the national championship game, the final game between the Kansas Jayhawks and the North Carolina Tar Heels, in which Kansas won. But if you watched that game, you knew it was a tale of two halves, where the first half, especially the second half of that first half, wow, North Carolina was playing so hard. They built a 16-point lead. And going into halftime, they had a 15-point lead that was, in fact, all the commentators were sitting there talking about how Kansas was down 16 at one point, and no team in final game history has ever come back from greater down than 15. And so it would have been history making. And guess what? It turned out to be history making, because during the second half of the game, within 9 minutes, Kansas had tied the game. And then for the next 11 minutes, it was back and forth until finally Kansas won the game. But it got me thinking a little bit. What if at halftime, Coach Bill Self, the coach of Kansas, would have went in there and said, well, guys, statistically speaking, we can't win. No team has ever come back from 16 points down to win the national championship. So why don't we just wash our hands of it, write it off, and go on back and give the national championship to North Carolina? Now, I know that sounds foolish, because what coach would do that? But you realize there are times in our lives when we may make that choice. You may be at a point right now where you are at a halftime in your life or a season. And things may be going well, and like a good coach, if things are going well, you want to sit here and keep it going. And so you're looking at what you're doing, at how to make the second half of this season to go just as well or even better than the first half. But there may be some of you here that are watching this that are in the second half of your life, that are in that other part of that halftime where things may not be going so well, and you're trying to make a decision of what you need to do. And I want to plead with you this morning, if you're in that situation, don't give up. Don't sit here and say, well, statistically speaking, there's no way I can do this, and I just want to move on. Don't give up. This morning, and it's interesting how God brings people into lives at the right time. This morning, I was going to breakfast like I do from time to time, and I was preparing for this and getting my thoughts together. And there was a young lady who works there, and I've seen her a couple times. I don't know her. I've never really interacted with her before. But this morning, she came in, and you could tell she was just physically distressed and crying and upset. And, it's not a lot of strangers that I won't talk to. So I was talking to her and, just seeing how she was doing. And we got talking a little bit about what's going on in life, and things really are tough. And things are really down. And she even used the words, I really don't know what to do, even going forward. And I just try to encourage her of saying, it will get better. And you can't give up, even though it seems dark at this moment. And I'm reminded about what Paul told the Galatian Christians in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. He says, don't grow weary in doing good things. Keep going. You will reap if you don't give up. Now, I know Paul's talking to Christians there. And I know that as Christians, sometimes doing good things, sometimes we get tired. And Paul's encouraging you, don't give up, keep going, keep going. There'll be a harvest. But I think there's a principle in life in that statement, that no matter what we are facing, don't give up the fight. Don't give up doing what you need to do and to keep pushing forward. I'm reminded of what the Hebrew writer said in Hebrews chapter 12, that we're surrounded by such a great a cloud of witnesses that encourage us, that moves us and pushes us to keep running this race of life as we look to the finish line, Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And that's what God gives us in the church. We have a family. We have each other there that are cheering us on, that are there to encourage us, that are there to lift us up when we feel like we can't walk and we can't do it. We're there to pick each other up and to help move forward. And I want to encourage you today that there may be somebody that is like that young lady that I met this morning, that is at a halftime trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out what changes need to be made, even considering giving up. And I want to encourage you to find someone and reach out to them this week, to encourage them, to build them up. And maybe you're watching this. Maybe somebody has shared this video and you're watching this. And if you're in that season, I want to encourage you not to give up and to reach out to people that are there to help you. Maybe it's the person who shared this that's a friend of yours on Facebook or some other mode of social media. Reach out to me. Send us a message here at the Calhoun Church of Christ. I'd love to talk with you, because I want to tell you that no matter how bad it may seem, no matter how low it may be, God, Jesus, the writers of the New Testament, all are encouraging you, don't give up. There are things in this life that are temporary. Yes, I know that they're deep and they're dark, but they're temporary. What is to come is even better. That's why Jesus says, my kingdom's not of this world. Our kingdom is of something better. And if we can help you, we would love to help you. You can reach out to me, John, at CalhounChurchOfChrist.com. I'd love to sit down and talk with you. I'd love to reach out and have this conversation, or you have a conversation with one of your friends. And if you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're a member here, or you're a member of the Lord's church, I want to encourage you. Continue doing good. Don't give up. There are people that are looking for you to be that light and be that salt. Thank you for tuning in today. I encourage you, like and share this. And let's be the people God has called us to be. Have a good day. We will see you next week.